going on? What's going on? Welcome back, Man of Prestige. Let me just make sure that audio is good. Man of Prestige, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. All right, it's a little struggle streaming going on there. Let's see if we can flow things a little bit better. All right, it's looking good. So, all right, what's going on? So, yeah, I'm not in my regular right now, so my streaming is a little bit weird, but I'm not in the studio. But welcome back. Today we're talking about Kim Kardashian done with SKETE, 15 dating, relationship, and marriage. Let me turn that music down a little bit. I think it's fine actually. I think it's fine. Let me just take this out of my ears. All right, great. 15 dating, relationship, and marriage lessons for men like Kanye West and Pete Davidson. Welcome back. Shout out to you. Thank you for stopping by. I need your help. So we're still working on the platform. It's a brand new platform. Probably like it's going on a year right now, but again, we're just getting things started. We don't have extreme polarized views here. We try to find a balance. We try to understand what's going on, and we really care about people's personal growth. It's not just for entertainment. So I need your help. If you're getting value from what I'm doing here, please by all means go ahead and share with your friends. Hit the like button, engage. Even dislike button, I don't really care, as long as you let the algorithms know how you feel about the content. That's all that matters. Okay, so we're going to talk about this situation. This young lady, Kim Kardashian, is broken up with her little boy toy. No disrespect, but that's what it seems like. I think it's under 9 months. Again, you continue to see things like this, and this thing should be predictable to you at this point in time. Sadly, there's a lot of people that are moving around social media, and they can't really see things like this coming, even though it happens over and over and over again. Now, I get it. These are celebrities. I don't like using celebrity examples too much too, but the truth is that the society pay attention to what the celebrities are doing, and certain aspects of their life will trickle into people's regular life. Okay, that's just the reality. Okay, that's the reality. Let me keep this in my ears. I think I was enjoying it. All right, so the society will enjoy it. The society does enjoy it. So or maybe not enjoy it, but they're enjoying the entertainment. But little like, so what you hear is what makes who you are eventually, in some form, capacity or the other. So that's something that I think you should pay attention to. So as much as I don't, there's a right time and place for using celebrity examples, and I think this is one of them. Especially the 15 lessons I'm going to point out for you today. You can relate to it. You will see it happen in your personal life, in one shape, form, or the other, and you can also be able to leverage it, right? So these are lessons. These are existing lessons that the greatest of times being, they teach this stuff. But sometimes we're able to relate and connect it when we have real life examples like this. Okay, so they broke up, and let me just go ahead. I'm going to share my screen with you, and the news broke out, and Kanye West, that's not real, by the way. It looks like he's laughing, but but I guess it's at this point in time, it's probably saying "I told you so" of some sort, or some kind of how do you say, gratification of some sort. Maybe not. Maybe he doesn't care. Ideally, it really shouldn't be too concerned about this, right? But we're humans. Okay, we're human beings, so I get it. If someone is concerned a little bit about what their ex-wife is doing, it's not exactly abnormal. But again, you're not trying to be normal when you're looking for some kind of solution. You're looking for a better way. You're trying to rise above normal, right? That's what I will hope you're trying to do, right? So Nonetheless, I think this 15 lessons. I think you're gonna enjoy it. But before we get into the 15 lessons, I really thought that we should review some of the social media responses. Because they also give us some level of perspective on what the public is saying about this kind of stuff, right? So let's go ahead and do that. Let me see here. Okay, so there's this news. It was on BuzzFeedNews.com. All right, so here's one of them. Let me just blow this up a little bit so you can see. Yeah, there you go. Kanye West. I'm reading Kanye West right now. Reading the tweets of Kim. Sorry about the struggle stream, by the way. I think it should be good now. All right, that's good. We're good to go. So Kanye West right now reading the tweets of Kim and Pete split up. Another one says, find out about Kim and Pete's breakup. Finding out about Kim and Pete's breakup in the same spot I was when I found out they were dating. My mom's couch. Okay. Kim K and Pete split. What a shock. Is he keeping that tattoo? All right. So Pete has a tattoo, a few tattoos actually, on his body, reportedly. Chris calling the paparazzi and telling them to stop filming because Kim and Pete have broken up. This guy is so popular, we have no idea who he is. But yeah. Anyway, so there you have it. Social media is reacting to this, of course. So the society, I should say, society is social media. Let's stop the cap, right? They respond to everything celebrity because it's entertaining, but at the same time we can relate. Let's just be honest. Okay? Let's just be honest, right? So right about now, I want to get into some of the lessons. And then lesson number 1. So these are just quotes, right? And I'll tell you what the lesson is, right? They did break up this week amicably due to distance and schedules. A CNN source said. What is the lesson in this, right? Now again, they're celebrities, right? Their own circumstance is probably, that's real. Distance and schedules, right? But the lesson in this one particularly is for Kanye West, or men like Kanye West, I should say, right? Sometimes when you get hit with this real life stuff, when it's really, when it's happening, right? You tend to overreact just because you're human like the rest of us, right? I say that a lot. You notice, right? You're human like the rest of us. You overreact. But again, if you have any level of self-control, that's a good point to say, you know what, I'm not going to overreact. Life events will fight in your favor if she belongs there in the first place. But it's very difficult, right? Because you're like, somebody's about to steal your whole life away. Your baby mother with your wife, literally, with 4 different kids, and then this person is going to intrude into your kid's life. It creates this anxiety through your body, like a shock, and naturally you want to overreact, right? But if you know anything about life events has a way of happening. Things like distance, schedule, somebody's mother, they got tired of it. Maybe they find out that they're not, that's just a little boy. I don't want to mess with him anymore. You have to be patient enough to wait for that if you care to have her again. What is the flip side of this? The flip side of this is that, no, I'm just going to stop right now. I'm going to stop them right now from doing this. My kids are involved. Well, that's going to backfire. So as men, you need to learn how to pick your lane, pick your battles, because you're not going to have it all, just in life in general, right? And the way you win in life is to first of all identify the cards you're dealt with, right? That you're being dealt. And then you learn how to leverage that to create as close as possible to the result you're looking for. You, as a Kanye West, you don't get to control Kim Kardashian's life, even if you try. I keep trying to tell you, stop trying to control people. It's not going to work. It just never works. Not especially if you live in a world, in a Western world, where people have everything they need. So that's not going to work in your favor, trying to control people. Instead of trying to control people, learn, influence, and power. Okay, learn, influence, and power. Learn, influence, and power. Because if you learn influence and power, you will basically leverage the powers that be, things like distance and schedule that will naturally happen. You leverage that in your favor, and then you can be in a position to say, I don't want her anymore. It's better to be in a position to say, nah, I'm not interested anymore. And then if you really want her, then you can still go for her without making all this noise about your family and your kids in a way that can hurt you, right? That can turn around and hurt you. All right. So let's go to lesson number 2. It's a quote again from CNN. I did SNL, Saturday Night Live. And then when we kissed in the scene, it was just a vibe. Okay. So she's an entertainer. She kissed in the scene. Kardashian said on the show. Now, I just want to paint this as reality, right? Again, I like to spell out reality as it is for men. Because again, when you go marry, if you go pick up a girl from the strip club and you marry her, that comes with certain things. If you go marry an actor or actress, that comes with certain things. Okay, there's certain types of people or people in certain lines of duty or job or career that you will need to be 100% secured in yourself to try this, to attempt this. It's like one of those things where we say, don't attempt this at home. It's nothing against those people. It's just the reality, right? So if she's an actress, she's an entertainer, she's always on TV, she's going to end up on Saturday Night Live and kiss somebody. Now, could she potentially become somebody else's? Yes. Especially if you can't control, if you lack self-control and the relationship is not solid at home. If there are voids in your relationship at home, which sometimes there will be void. No one is perfect, right? So there will be voids. So what's the solution to this? The solution is always in the future, not in the past, right? Shoulda, woulda, coulda, they're not solutions. Oh, you should have done this. You should have vetted properly. That's not real life solutions, right? Because you can't go back into the past. The only thing you can use the lesson learned, right? And I already shared the lesson learned with you. Lesson learned is that if you go marry a girl who is always traveling, you need to be 100% secured in yourself, because after work, she's in the hotel somewhere and she goes hang out with a few colleagues and you call her and she doesn't pick up, you're going to lose your mind if you're not 100% secured in yourself. 100% secured in yourself is not realistic either, right? But at least you understand that that's the goal, that you need to exercise trust. It's a matter of self-control, right? So I'm showcasing this because that's the reality. There was void in the house, and then she ended up on SNL, and then she kissed this dude. And what happens next? Let's go into lesson number 3. Davidson did not attend the after show party for SNL, right? Later, she said, this is Kim talking, right? She decided to pursue him, right? Why would somebody's wife have the time and the strength and the space in their head to pursue somebody who is literally, she's 41, he's 28 years old? Why? Because there's a void, right? Is she wrong? Oh, you're right. She's wrong. But we're not talking about right and wrong. See, right and wrong, you and I know what that is. I don't need to teach you what right and wrong is. I'm teaching you the reality is that when people don't feel right, they will do all the wrong things in search for trying to feel right, both men and women. Okay? And then they would justify it with logic, right? And then they would act like, no, I'm just being intentional. No, that's not true. It's not the reality. The reality is that everyone do what they do based on their feelings. They may justify with logic. They may find enough logic inside the Bible, inside of an ideology to justify it. But at the end of the day, people follow their feelings to do what they do. Okay. Shout out to all of you watching live. Thank you for being here. Please don't forget to hit the like button. All right. So Davidson did not even go to the after show party of SNL, but yet she was so intrigued by him that, now, is she being bad being a married woman doing this? You get to decide that. That's based on your personal moral compass. For me, yes, that's bad. For me personally, right? But I'm not going to, like, Kanye West is not going to be the first to teach her what's bad. So the problem is deeper than just right and wrong. The problem is deeper than just black and white. When you're dealing with dating, you're dealing with relationships, marriage, romance, There's multiple layers to everything. There's multiple layers at any point in time. So trying to forcefully create anything or the vibe you're looking for will always backfire, because you're messing with energies that you haven't really identified, including your own energy, whatever you're responding to from that emotional space. Okay, so I'm just showing you the reality again, that your girl may end up pursuing other people, not necessarily like a deliberate thing, but from a place of weakness. If there's a void, right? Is she wrong? She's wrong. But including yourself, you would do the wrong things when you don't feel right. It's just something to be aware of, right? So when you want to nurture a healthy relationship, right, it's always number one best to make sure you're not pouring from an empty cup. You should never be trying to oversatisfy her, because if that's your goal, you're going to empty yourself out, right? You should be your best version of yourself, so you're not pouring from an empty cup, because that's exactly what attracted her in the first place. But the moment you find yourself in a space where you're trying to satisfy, you're appeasing, or in that moment something is already terribly wrong from inside of you, and it's no wonder why she's trying to run away, right? Because it's a marriage. She's taking care of kids. She has all these other issues. She's also, quote unquote, a girl of a certain type of lifestyle with a lot of options, right? Everything will go wrong from that spot in time. So what's the lesson here right now? The lesson here is, don't ever be in that space where you think, oh no, that can't be me. Yes, it could be you, and you will become complacent, and you should be aware of that. It's the awareness that I want you to have, because when you're aware, complacency reduces significantly, either in marriage or dating. It reduces significantly because you're aware that it's a thing that we all will go through. We will become complacent and comfortable sometimes. But it's worse when you're not aware that's happening and you're actively defending with bullshit like, no, I'm a man, I provide, I protect. What else do you want? It's a lot more than that in 2022, right? Because she can provide and protect herself. So you need to find out what other types of value, why she subscribed. Like, what about the man itself? Forget what you can provide and protect, right? What about that man? She's with you because of the man you are, not because of what you can bring to the table from a materialistic standpoint. It may look like that on the surface, but people don't stay with people for a long time because of what you bring to the table in terms of tangible stuff. People stay with you because of who you are, right? So the awareness is key here for every party involved, right? Including you as a woman, right? As a woman, you need to be aware that yes, you could end up doing the wrong thing, something you're not proud of, if you don't take care of yourself emotionally speaking. Don't take yourself out of that, off of that pedestal, because you're human like the rest of us. You want to make sure you're in the right environment, and if it's not the right environment, call it out. Hold people accountable. Say, hey, I don't feel right. At least say, I don't feel right, as opposed to wait until things are destroyed, or a bunch of kids, their lives are destroyed because now they have to leave. Not destroyed, but tampered with, because they have to live under a roof where there's no mother and father, right? This principle is applicable across board. It doesn't matter if it's dating, relationship. The point here is that be aware that complacency will creep in, okay? Because you're human like the rest of us, right? So Davidson did not attend the party because he probably just living his life like, that's Kim. And then the next thing, this chick start pursuing him all over the whole place, right? But Davidson's 28 years old. He's a little boy. 28 years old, 20 years ago, is literally a 48-year-old man right now. This time and age, since they're all waiting to be 35 before they get married, they think they're still kids. So he doesn't know what he doesn't know, especially in that lifestyle as an entertainer, right? Anyway, let's go to lesson number 4. So Kim said, I called the producer at SNL and was like, hey, do you have Pete's number? Again, the lesson here is that this chick, a married woman with 4 kids at home, is actively pursuing a little boy who is literally 12, 13 years old behind her. Why would an adult, a woman, be in this position to be doing this, right? Well, first of all, it's 2022. There's nothing exactly wrong with being with somebody that's much younger, but going from a Kanye West to a 28-year-old man, right? What is wrong with that? Society will tell you a lot of things that's wrong with that, right? As a matter of fact, I think they're about to tell us what's wrong with that. But society definitely will, will hold you accountable to that kind of stuff because they will drag you through the mud, right? And say, hey, that's kind of weird. It's not wrong, but weird, right? But it's the reality, right? But again, the real lesson here is that you may end up in a position where your husband or your wife is emptied out. So their sense of character is out the window. They are ready to do anything to just feel right. Remember that thing that Jada said? I know people hate this part, right? Jada Smith, I hadn't felt so good in such a long time. It's a terrible thing to say with your husband in your presence, but it happened. It's the reality. It happened to a lot of good people. It's not about being a bad person or anything like that. It's about being humans, right? All right, so let's go to lesson number 5. And they were like, yeah, I text him. I wasn't even thinking like, oh my God, I'm going to be in a relationship with him. Here's another thing. A lot of people talk and they say, yeah, she's just a bad person. Like I was saying that just now, right? A lot of time women don't plan to do the wrong thing. Okay. Not just women, men too. Am I saying people make mistakes and cheat? That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying people will do the wrong thing without necessarily pre-planning it like long before it happens. Okay. Of course, they made a choice, a terrible choice, but I'm letting you know right now that a lot of times it's not exactly people are they're just being deluded about their capabilities to do the wrong things. All of us, we're delusional in a lot of ways about our capability to do what is wrong with respect to our own personal moral compass. But when you don't take care of yourself emotionally, like if you don't make sure that your surroundings are solid, make sure you surround yourself with the 5 best quality of people, the type of lifestyle you want to emulate. Sorry for the struggle streaming a little bit there, right? If you don't make sure of that, you will end up doing something you're not proud of because you just needed to feel right. Right? Just think of physical pain. Now think of emotional pain, meaning you can't control it. You lost control of it. You should be able to control it. Quote unquote, you're an adult. You're supposed to be able to control it. But that's not how this works. I'm just letting you know right now, that's not how this works. Okay. So I believe her when she said, oh my God, I'm going to be in a relationship with him. She wasn't thinking that. I believe her. But again, when there's void at home, when there's a void in the relationship, if every time you encounter your husband or your wife, you're always arguing all the time about bullshit, right? You can end up in that kind of situation because you're just looking for an out. You're just looking to feel a little better, right? You're looking to run. I mean, think of it as just a little moment where you run to. Let me just make sure nothing else is streaming in the background. Let me turn this page off. Just making sure that we're able to stream a little better. All right, so you don't just to let me it's nothing wrong with stepping out and having a little happy hour. All right, I think we're back to good. There's nothing wrong with having a little happy hour. Let me just step out a little bit, and it's all innocent until it's no longer innocent. There's a lot of men right now that are they're traumatized with the stories they keep sharing with each other, so they can't fathom the idea that their girl or their woman is going on a girl's trip. You want to trigger an average man right now, ask him like, what do you think about the idea of your wife going on a girl's trip, right? It's like their worst nightmare. They can't, So why am I saying that to you, right? I understand it because again, people are in relationship. They don't take care of the relationship. They don't nurture the relationships because they don't take care of self. Because the relationship is a function of who the people in the relationships are, right? The reason why I don't like the idea of pouring from an empty cup, meaning you're the one doing all the emotional work all the time, is because all you need is a weak link, right? And if your wife is a weak link, is going to backfire, Anyway, let's go on to here. Lesson number 6. I wasn't even thinking like, Oh, is that the same thing? Yeah, that's the same thing essentially. Being in a relationship. So we got two lessons mixed into one there. But let's keep going through it. Lesson number 7. I was just thinking, like, heard about this BDE. I'm guessing that's BDE, right? It just means confidence. It just means she's turned on. It means, yeah. So why would that happen? It happens in a lot of marriages. Okay, it happens because uh, complacency. Nigerian call it see finish. You're taking for granted. You see this person the same. Exciting. Now, when you mix that together with active arguments over and over, yes, she will see the ugliest thing ever, and she will start seeing big dick energy. So, so of course, need to get out there. She said, need to get out there. Now, they were already splitting up. They were already heading towards divorce and things like that, right? I was just basically DTF, down to fuck, right? So this is man nightmare, right? Worst nightmare. Why 28-year-old, you're 45. Talking about it's the worst nightmare. And when I see people, run their mouth online and they're so angry, they say, "No, I'm not angry with women. I'm just holding them." I understand. These things are real. They're happening. But it's also still true that it's because you lack the skills to even understand what's going on. You lack game. You don't think you need game, even inside of marriage. So now, your wife creates the attraction that, so that, let me, maybe if I should, what do you guys think? If you're watching me, turn off the stream a little. The connection here is terrible, so sorry about that. Let me see here. Yeah, because I don't think it's from here. Let's go get through it. See. All things trying to stream at the same time. One thing off, maybe that will help. But anyway, the lesson here is, you get the lesson. Complacency is real. If you're always on your toes, if you're tired from work or anything like that, you're able to on the third day say, "Hey babe, I'm sorry, I've been a little stressed out. Let me take you out to the walk." Right? Things like that goes a long way. It doesn't matter if you're dating or you're a girlfriend. Just the idea you're paying attention a little bit. Yes, sir. Let's see here. What's going on, my brother? Let's see. Yeah, this thing is really strong. I try to click. Complacency in relationships happen far too often. Always got to remember that genuine compatibility is hard to find. If you have that, I think that's a function of friendship, right? If you have that compatibility, grace, when that happens, you need a lot of grace. A human like the rest of us, you will mess up sometimes. So absolutely. But I also think compatibility together when they're not supposed to in the first place. Maybe because they were infatuated with nonsense, stupid, surface level things like money. Yeah, you just in that process. So we're definitely struggle streams. I think it's just in the afternoon. Try to bring it back here late in the evening. Day. All right. So let's see here. see. Let me maybe here. All right, good. That's number 8. While appearing on the Ellen DeGeneres show, Kardashian revealed that Davidson got tattoos in honor of the reality TV star, including one that reads, "My girl is a lawyer." So this is one of the things that was pissing Kanye West off. That happens. That's what happens when you fall off. Let me see if I can connect to another one here real quick. Quickly, if not, I'll be right back. All right, so let's see if it's better. I connected to my hotspot. Let's see if we can make it work. All right, so I think it's better. I connected to my hotspot. I'm in the middle of nowhere in Wisconsin, so I'm in the woods in the country. So sorry about that. All right, so this is one of the things that's pissing him off, that was pissing Kanye West off. And they're going to be, when you end up in a situation where you're about to lose your marriage or your relationship, you're going to overreact naturally. You're going to act out, or you're going to misbehave, and it's going to be smelly. Right, so you would misbehave in ways that your partner cannot trust your behavior, because they're always looking like you're like, okay, it's about to overreact again. They don't feel safe around you. They're walking on eggshells, and so when people are walking on eggshells around themselves, naturally these things will happen, right? So then also, like, the person they decide to pick will do stupid things. So if you're a guy, the person that your girl gets your guts with would do stupid things like draw a tattoo. I mean, imagine that some random dude draw a tattoo of your wife on himself. That will make you want to delete a person, to piss you off, right? Or imagine a girl that you're messing with as a side chick decide to pick up the phone and start trolling your wife. That happens too, right? So these things will happen. When those things happen, if you already find yourself in a situation where it's bad, your relationship is going through the crisis like that, the best thing to do is understand that these things will happen and be determined not to react to it. Your girl sometimes will literally go and unfriend you on social media. Don't overreact to things like that. Like, she would do things literally to piss you off, trying to get your attention. Even if you react to it, it should not be an overreaction, and it shouldn't be. You should try not to make it some kind of accusations or, like a fight. If I were you, I would pretend like I didn't see it. Like, she defriended you on Facebook, or she deactivated, or she goes on Facebook and change the status from in a relationship to single, or from married to complicated, and then you overreact to things like that. You're going to make it worse. So the point here is that stupid things will happen when you find yourself in this situation, and you should expect that stupid things will happen, and your patience level will determine how long it lasts. You want it to last longer? Lack patience. Right? And we saw Kanye West showing that heavily, right? Lesson number 9. Since divorce, things have been rocky, with Ye suspended from Instagram. He overreacted so much that he actually was sending harassing messages to the dude, Davidson, and his own wife. And then he will overreact, and then the following day he will bring a pickup full of roses and things like that. Just overreacting every extreme, in both ends of the extreme. So predictable, right? The last thing you want to be in this moment is to be predictable, because she knows how you behave. She knows how you overreact in the house already. It's just that the rest of the world is finding out for the first time. Making statements about his love. So he would, he will attack the dude and then will make statement about his love and all of, even making statement about his love is a terrible move when a woman is already saying they don't want to do anymore, right? You gotta back off. You have to back off completely from her until things settle, because whatever she's looking for on the street is inside. She will find out that there's nothing out there on the street for anyone, but you have to be patient enough to find that out. All right. So why did they quit? Right? Let's go on to lesson number 10 really quickly. A source tells us, this is according to page6.com, a source tells us that the duo's age difference, I told you, age difference, people think age is just a number. No, age is not just a number. Age is it's a lot of things. Experience, right? Experience, being able to can relate right now on little stupid things like big dick energy and down to fuck. But that only lasts for so long, right? But real things that tend to follow experience, which is a function of time, age, will show out in due time, right? So of course, the age difference is a real thing. So age difference contributed to the decision. So they finished having the fun they want to have. She's done with the fun and she dumped his ass. If you look at some of the past videos I did about these guys, it was obvious to me that he's in love. He fell in love with the older woman, right? Put it on him, right? Just like Jada did with Og, right? But these things are predictable. Right? They're predictable. You fall in love with the older woman. Been there, done that. Fall in love with the older woman. Nothing good comes out of it. You can ask 50 Cent too with Vivica Fox. There's tons of examples of this kind of things. It's okay if you know that it's just fun, right? But the age difference it's going to be a real thing. Okay, just like cultural differences, just like religion differences, right? Any differences in a context that makes up who you are as a person will create problem. Now you could get through it, but it will create problem first. And if you're not equipped like most people to get through it, yes, it would destroy the relationship effectively. Lesson number 11. The SNL alumni, 28, spending much of his time in Australia, is on a movie set, while the 41 years old mom of 4 has been juggling her businesses and co-parenting with ex-urban Kanye West in LA. Here's the lesson in this. If you have children with a person, there are going to be moments. Right, that will create opportunities for you. Right? Because people always look into the past with rose gold color lens, right? If you give them time and you back off of their face and you allow them, the natural mind to process things, they will look into the past and will start to see all the good old times. But if you're always in their face, trying to remind them of how beautiful they are, you're disrupting the natural process of how the mind works. When it's already bad, you need to back off. And I mean that. For how long? It doesn't matter. Just back off, go work on yourself for however long it takes, especially if you're a man. If it means a lifetime, so be it. It may just be the end of the marriage. The problem is that when you start putting ultimatum on yourself, it actually works against you because it naturally shows in you that you're desperate. And that's what happened with Kanye West. It to me was so obvious how he lost his wife. It was just another man who doesn't know any better, who didn't know any better. Right? But if he had just been a little bit patient, people think patience is weakness. No, if you think that way, you're weak. Okay? Patience is actually from a place of strength. Not only do I practice it with women, I practice it with men that are in their feminine energy. I practice with everyone. If you are in a place of, you just want to be combative, I will exercise patience with you because it's not worth my time. It's not just men or women. You could label it anything you want, label it pandering, whatever. The point is that my energy is, I channel it properly. I put effort channeling my energy, and I channel a lot of it into patience when I'm interacting with another human being. So why? Because there are forces already that works for me. Why should I fight with those forces? Why should I be swimming against the trend? It's a useless effort. It works against you all the time. Have you paid attention? Somebody was saying, okay, so you hold women accountable when they're disrespectful. And if a person is disrespectful to me, I stop engaging them. If I engage them, it's a sign of lack of self-respect. It's no wonder why it's continuing to happen. You're perpetuating it, right? If it's my wife, if I'm going to have to say a word, I will say it one time. If I have to say it a second time, a third time, that form of communication is not working. Clearly, it's not working. Remove myself. Temporarily. It doesn't have to be a permanent decision, right? But of course, weak men will call that weak because they have to bark in order for them to feel powerful. The strength, the most authentic and the most useful strength for you comes from the inside out. It has to come from the bottom of the stomach. If you haven't done it before, it's going to take practice, but it gets better and easier, and you have a lot more sweeter experience in life when you understand what I'm talking about. Lesson number 12. While Kardashian and West, it's a quote from page6.com. While Kardashian and West, 45, have gotten into public spats in recent months, we're told he had nothing to do with the breakup. Yes. So imagine how sweet it would be if he had just been a little bit longer patient. To take a lot of him, of course, because we're talking about some random 28-year-old kid messing with your babies, tattooing their names on his body and things like that, like weird ass things, right? Their initials on his body. Of course, that would test your patience, but that's the point. That's why it takes strength, right? Because you're dealing with other human beings. The majority of the thing that's driving the force, the majority of the forces driving everything is the emotions. That's the logical answer to your question. It's the emotions that's driving everything. So if you don't have emotional control, you're going to self-destruct. Your kids may even end up resenting you and liking the dude even more. Or maybe they don't, but your kid went to the other room, and the next thing you start reacting, you start having anxiety, like maybe they like him more now, and then you start overreacting. It takes a lot of self-control. It takes a lot of strength. It's actually a lot more easier to spat out. And again, weak men will always gravitate in that direction. When I say weak men, I'm just calling it what it is. It's not a shaming tactic. We've all been there where we were too weak. We overreacted, right? Because we were just concerned about the feelings of the moment. Feelings are temporary by nature. You guys will say that a lot, but then the application is in the mud, right? Feelings are temporary in nature. Just be patient to get past that moment, and then you will find that things will work in your favor. And if it doesn't work in your favor, there's still way. It's still, even if you're going to take any action, you will take it from a place of logic, right? You take it from a place of you're settled in yourself. You're just saying, hey, no, I don't appreciate that. Don't touch my child that way, right? As opposed to overreacting, and then you've lost your cool. You basically will become guilty of your own doings. Okay, so So yes, it was spatting out in public and everything. But imagine right now, today, this would happen probably much earlier. By the way, like this would have happened. Like she would have dumped this dude like 3-4 months in if he was just patient enough. How do I know? Because it happens all the time. I mean, all those kids are getting ghosted left and right. They're angry that women are ghosting them because they're finding out for the first time that women don't need your money or your protection in 2022. They need emotional protection and provision in 2022. That is extremely hard to comprehend and understand. I am finding that that's very, very hard for people to comprehend and understand. Women still need you to provide, but emotionally. Because sometimes you'll go broke, or it's just not enough. But because you have the skill set of making them feel safe and secure, it doesn't matter. She will fight tooth and nails to protect you, even with her family. Even when other people try to drag you. But when you have looks and you open your mouth and you say something stupid, everything gets dried up. And then you wonder, I thought I had the looks. I've been working out all this while. Right? And then you're going to have a rude awakening. Right? So yeah, it's interesting. Let's go to lesson number 13. Lesson number 13. Pete bonded with her and West's kids. North 9 Saint 6 Chicago 4 Sam. These are interesting names. 3. So much so that he got a tattoo. Yeah, I just mentioned that. Again, they're gonna do stupid stuff. When your girl or your man gets with somebody else because there was a void in your relationship, meaning they're not connected anymore, even if they're wrong, right? They will do stupid stuff because they're in their emotions. People do stupid stuff when they fall in love randomly, especially from a place of pain. They fall into the wrong crowd, they fall into the wrong societies, communities. They start saying stupid shit all over the place because they're just trying to feel better. Right? So now she gets with somebody who is extremely disrespectful. It is disrespectful for a dude to come into the life of your ex-wife to be and start writing initials in a public way. It's like you're trying to test him. That's why it's going to take a lot of strength to practice the emotional control that it would take to be that patient, to the extent that the public doesn't have to know what's going on. We saw what happened to Will Smith. It's hard, but that's exactly why it builds strength. That's precisely why it works. Because you'll be building muscles that you will find useful, not just in romance, but in other areas of life when you have emotional self-control. All right. So, I think it was disrespectful, but I don't think the best way to address that disrespect is to respond to it publicly. Right? I can address it in person. Like, you tattooed my baby's names on your body. What makes you think that's the right thing to do? Plus, I think it's better to just address your wife than addressing some strange dude that you don't really know. That's also going to take self-control, because the natural mind says, no, it's not her fault, it's his fault. People will rather blame the side chick or side dude than their own person. It happens on both men and women's side. Your wife got with somebody else, but you want to blame the dude. She chased the dude down, literally pursued him. We saw that earlier in lesson 1 and 2, right? The same thing on the flip side. Your husband got with somebody else, but you won't fight the other chick. You'll rather fight the other chick because it's her fault. See, that's why I said, when you're caught up in your emotions, all sense of right, wrong, character, the right things goes out the window because you're operating out of your emotions. That's the way it works. Let me shout out my brother here. Mr. Roca, what's going on? Prenup, brother. Prenup. Yeah. So let's keep going here. Lesson number 14. We got 15, so it's almost done. Went on numerous vacations together. Just another additional thing to piss you off when you're in this place where your wife has just said, I'm not interested. I'm no longer interested. It's going to come from when this happens, I tell people it's going to be a uphill battle. It's going to get even worse. And they usually can't comprehend what I'm talking about until they start to experience and they start to have anxiety all over the place. Right? Now you start to see pictures. Even if they don't want to take pictures, paparazzis will take pictures. But it happens in regular people's lives. There'll be stupid things that will happen. They will call the house. Even back in the days when it was just landlines, they will call the house randomly. You're like, what the hell was that? Like, oh, okay, I know that my ex-wife to be is already dating somebody, but can they stop calling the fucking house? People will get disrespectful is the point. Why? Because it's natural order of things when your relationship falls to the bottom like that. And it's very hard to accept that reality. It's very, very hard to deal with that reality. I get it. Nonetheless, if you're aware, you can do better. Right? You can practice some strength. Some of the greatest human beings in the world have gone through this type of experiences, and then you look at them and you say, oh, what a man, what a marriage, right? But it's because they build muscles, they build strength. They seem quiet, they seem like they don't respond to everything. with them emotions, but because they know that nothing good comes out of responding with emotions. They know that emotions are the reality of life. So it's like the ocean trend. You don't swim against it. It just backfires. You don't engage emotions with emotions. You don't engage feminine energy with feminine energy. You just multiply. You're not creating a spark necessarily, but it just gets bigger and chaotic. Naturally so, right? So, um, it's just be aware. If this ever happens to you, right? Either you're in high school or we're talking about you're an adult at the age of 54. You just started dating this 25-year-old girl because somebody told you should wait till 35, and then you found out that it's bullshit. You're now at ground zero, right? Now you have to deal with your anxiety and insecurities of this 25-year-old girl who tend to sit in the bathroom on the phone with strangers for 1 hour at a stretch. and then you're confused, like, wait, I thought she's supposed to be submissive because she's 25, right? Just be aware, right? When it happens, when for every micro level of deterioration in your relationship, the police involved will tend to act out of emotions. Be aware. Then you can take some time off and say, I need the time off, and then you can come back. Sometimes it's just 30 minutes. That's all it takes sometimes. And then you can retrace your step back, like, what if I went on social media and said something stupid 30 minutes ago? Happens all the time. Again, imagine if Kanye had been equipped enough to stay off of social media and not get his account, which, by the way, will affect his money, will affect his mental health. I mean, who wants, like, you remember Donald Trump getting deleted off of Twitter? That doesn't feel good. I don't care how big you are. It's like somebody shutting you down, somebody taking your voice away. That will always feel terrible. And that will affect other things in your life, because you will spend enough energy trying to fight that battle as opposed to building other things, just because you don't have any self-control. Lesson number 15. Davidson was even spoken about on season 1 of The Kardashians. So they have a new show apparently on Hulu, during which the beauty mogul, that's Kim, detailed their bond over skincare and joked about their sex life. So a lot of people try to cap, this guy is young, got this older chick, the hottest chick in the world, at least according to Kanye West, right? And of course, he will probably feel like a freaking king, like a home. Like, never mind, she had all the sex tape in the past and had this lifestyle, and never mind all that. Just small me. That's probably what he's thinking, right? With a Kim Kardashian who is 13 years older, he probably was feeling himself. He was feeling himself. He was enjoying it, right? They joked about, he was probably being an emotional tampon. He enjoyed it while it lasted. But here's the problem with that. When he got dumped right now, he's probably going to get caught up in his emotions and be pissed off about the whole process. Because he probably caught him off guard completely. He's in Australia, she's in LA somewhere. And he got the news like, oh, we should just be friends. Oh, we both made a joint statement to just be friends. Really? That's not true. It's never a joint decision. Somebody chopped brick fast. That's what we call it. Somebody got dumped. And to me, it's obvious who got dumped. She's tired. She's done with him. Who wants to be casted away? Nobody likes the feeling of being casted away. There's no one that likes that, right? So no matter how strong you think you are, you're going to be like, yeah, I guess screw that. I guess fuck that. Yeah, you could put out a statement, but god damn, what the fuck, yo? Because you've already caught up in your emotions. I keep giving these examples. It's such an interesting thing to watch AMS, Alpha Male Strategies, refined into the man that he's becoming. I remember stumbling into him a few years back. I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? Right? He was quite raw in his deliveries, but a lot of young men, 500,000 strong, followed him because they could relate. But now is quite different, you know. It's quite different because, you know, some people are just lucky to get through that and come out on the other side becoming a fine man, right? Because they've been there, done that. He said that he was all about, yeah, sleep with this hoes, you know, ladies hoes, you know, dump, pump and dump and all this kind of stuff. And then there was this one particular chick. I think he said he dumped him and it really affected him. Like I really like that chick, right? That's gonna happen to you if you have a human mind, if you have a human brain, if you have a heart. It's going to happen to you, no matter how much of a player, pump and dump player you want to be, that you're fantasizing about being. You're just going to be human like the rest of us. There's that one chick that you really, really like. How much more we're talking about your wife, your mother of 4 kids, right? Of course that hurts. Like literally your whole life is probably surrounding this person. It's not about the fact that they cook for you. It's about you planned your life to be a certain way and you've given a little space for a person to come in and then they just pull that plug. Of course that hurts. That's why I understand the red pill. I get it. People need to connect and, you know, booty clap for each other and then connect and then, you know, trauma bonding. I get it. But that's never going to remove the need to heal properly. Because you will self-destruct. If you don't get out on the other side of that rage, you will self-destruct. And it's no mercies. Doesn't matter how old you are. You can self-destruct at 19. You can self-destruct at 60. The world that we live in is vicious to men. Why? Because men rule the world. Like we're in control. So we'll be held accountable by the context that we created. It's just what it is. We don't get to point fingers. I don't care in what capacity. I don't care if you're holding accountable. I don't care if that person was just disrespectful. If they're disrespectful, you remove yourself. If you have to touch them, you call the police. Why? Because you're going to lose a lot more by being stupid, right? Oh, I need to call out faults and blames for you to feel better. That's terrible. That's terrible. Because sometimes in life, you're not going to have that opportunity. You still need to compose yourself. You still need to have a proper, you know, self-construct and decide that I'm going to remain a king. When I'm a king, I don't need permissions to do that. Right? Right? And if you argue with me on this issue, same result all the time. Same results. You're going to get dragged by society, including women. You will attract a lot more sign language than you have been attracting already. And basically, you can't expect a different result and be doing the same thing over and over. That's called insanity. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for everyone that showed up. Thank you to Olabi, my fellow content creators out there. Thank you to Mr. Rocker. Thank you for your comment. I appreciate you. Thank you for everyone that will come here and watch the rebroadcast later. We're still trying to grow. So I come here as often as I can. I appreciate you. Hopefully it was enlightening and educational. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.